Hello, hello. How is everybody? I'm a minute slow getting on. I was cleaning up and I dumped something all over my floor. I'll wait till a few of you come on so I can see you. Be sure to say hello so I know that you're checking in. Excuse me while I reach. I'm just trying to get my computer set up at the same time so I can see when people are popping in. Hello, Shelley and Debbie. I'm not sure who else. Now, this card today is not what I call hard. It is just one of those that adds a little bit of depth and dimension and changes than the standard. And I am working with 5 1/4 squares. I figured that way we have some envelopes that maybe can be used for these. Okay. Now, before we start, I'm going to show you. These 2 cards were done with Vicki Boutin's wrapped in ribbons. There was some fun paper in this collection. Today, I'm going to go back again to some Simple Stories, vintage, rustic Christmas, and 49 & Markets Christmas Spectacular. So I've been mixing it up between the 2 of them and going back and forth because they had some fun Christmas papers, all of them. Now, what I wanted to share was, this is the straight line card. Plain, simple, easy to use, easy to decorate, and everything. However, you could be taking an extra piece of cardstock in a different color and doing an edging. You could be putting lace, ribbon, just anything that has a nice border. On this one, I'll be honest with you, I actually took something that had a scallop on it and I traced it with pencil and I hand cut it. So if you have some dies, now years and years ago, I had some Heartfelt Creations edging dies, and if you would die cut them before you put the pieces together, you would do here and then here and here, and then put the pieces together. And if there's any alterations, you can cut off the bottom. So what you do then is you do the scallop and then leave extra at the bottom that if you had to trim something, you trim down below. So that's another option just to keep in mind. Now, what I did was, now I do not decorate the extra panels because even when it's sitting nicely on the table, I am only seeing the ones I'm looking at. If I wouldn't be placing it sideways, and even then I still don't see the backing. So that's why I definitely do not promote wasting paper where you don't need it. So basically, I went with the same print on the front and back, and in between, I had the variation going. You can do them all different, all the same. There's just too many options, okay? So now, let's get to the nitty-gritties. I haven't cut anything ahead. So, it says for the base that you need 5 1/4 by 10 1/2 and 5 1/4 by 11. So I am going to cut 2 5 1/4 and then come back and cut the other way. Oh, hello, Alicia's joined. 5 1/4. I have to keep concentrating here. Okay, so we need 10.5. And the one that is the 11 is the one that gets the half-inch scoring. And that's the joining section. So let me grab, of course I can't find anything I want. Let me find my little score tool. So at the 1/2 inch, I'll just do it in this instead of my scoreboard today. There we go. Now, this is where, you know me, I like things easy and I don't like measuring if I don't have to. So, well, see, now I can't see Patricia popping in, but they're saying hello to Patricia and Judy. Okay, so now this is where, if you go to the mark where the scoring is done for the 1/2 inch, fold it. And if everything was cut and scored properly, we should have 5 1/4. We also should be able to grab the other one and fold and have 5 1/4. Now, the one thing we have to remember is on this sheet, I told you to score behind, put the fold behind A. I'm not sure that it even matters. But if we're going to do that, if this is behind, and I open this one, I will put it behind. So I will grab my glue. And I will put the glue on. And this is my special glue, the Barely Art Precision Craft Glue with the fine point on it. So it gets to the edges and I can keep spreading just small amounts. And I think we save on glue just by having that. And it's perfect. So this goes in the background. No, this is where I'm just trying to, it doesn't matter. We can refold. So for now, join the 2. There, push them in tight. Now, the next thing we have to do then is make sure that we definitely have, yes, we love that glue, Suzanne. When we do this, the back panel has to be facing me. So the first fold is going to go this way, and then we're going to go back the other way and forward. So once you do that, you have to remind yourself once in a while. Okay, now, I only have a 12-inch ruler, and this is where, you know me, we do not have to measure this exactly, but what you're going to do then is open up, and from, I don't know if I can get it in the screen here, there we go. If this is the back panel, right here, from this corner right there, from here, we are going to angle down, and this is where I want you to mark 2 3/4. So 2 3/4. Now, it could be, I wouldn't go less, otherwise this piece gets too tiny. You could go a little bigger, but then we don't have the angle. That's kind of cool. So basically, I'm putting this roughly there, and I'm kind of pointing it up there so that it can wiggle down here, all right? So now I'm going to slide on over because my ruler doesn't fit, and there's the point. And this is where, if you want to lay your pencil or something down, I'm going to wiggle it up just a bit. There. So using your pencil as an extension, we now can draw from here to there. Now slide this over. And you should be fairly close. Some people have larger rulers, I don't. Now I'm going down a smidge. So it's just a smidge below where I was, and that's perfectly fine. Now, this is where your cut board isn't that long either, so I just say keep it easy. Grab your scissors. Now, if you want, this piece that we are cutting off can be marked template. So next time you want to do this card, just lay the template. Take your template next time, lay it down, and trace it, and you got it. So that is, like I said, when we cut pieces off that can be templates, I would suggest you stick them in a baggie and paper clip or staple them to the printout information sheet. So now, this is where, if you wanted to do something fussy or add lace or whatever, you have to contemplate it, because we then want to put the prints onto here. Now, I've done one of each. I did the zigzaggy, but now I'm going to show you, just for kicks, if I can find it. I thought about it after I was done today. I was cleaning up. And the other thing, I have some rulers that have funny edges on them, and they're quite cool. So, the other thing I can do, and this is where I could have done it before I cut this line, and it might have saved a little more edging for me, but it doesn't matter. Now, I am just going to go as high as I can, and I'm not going to worry about what goes where. And yes, I am going to take the time and cut it. And if you don't want to do something like this, and I'm holding you up, let's talk about what you're going to be looking at. I like to pick my inside back piece first because it's got the beautiful images and maybe you've got some accents. I took the leftover piece that was pretty and I put it on the front. I then chose two different prints, the gray plaid and the letters, and I did put some fun accents on them all the way through. For this one, same thing, background and front, and I put a couple stickers on both of those. But this is where I definitely took the coloring from the front and back and then filled in my center. But your options are open. Have fun. We just want to see what you come up with when you share your finished card. So now I'm going to take a minute. It's going to take me not too long, but I'm just going to zip on through here. And this is where I'm not doing 100%. I'm having fun. I'm following the angles that were in the ruler. And this is where, if you have some of those fabulous dies that are edges only and can run them through your die machines, then that is your other option. Now I just got to check. Yeah, it does. It goes into here. From there to there. See, now that didn't take me long. I didn't hold you up too long. Okay, fold. There. Super fun. Oh, I was supposed to do one more. How crazy is that? Grab my tools, try it again. I was just too excited. What can I tell you? Okay, so that one is, I want to match my patterns a little bit here. Well, that'll do. think I just went where the joining of the two pieces was, instead of going up one more panel here. There. It's okay. I'll be done in a second. Yeah, like, thanks, Alicia. Tear and edge would look great too. Another option. That's what I said. Use what you like. But you shouldn't be afraid to try different things. Each card doesn't have to be the same. And like I said, this was just one of those cheap, funny rulers. I think when I started scrapping, it was something I saw and thought, well, that's kind of cool. I don't use it as much as I did back then. There we go. So I am grabbing my fun prints that I definitely had. And I just have too many. So I have the Santa. And oh, that's pretty. I like the gingham. And I like I'm mixing them because that's 49 in Market's poinsettia, and this here is the vintage rustic Christmas, and this is where front and back. I don't know if I might want to try this one too. That's kind of cool. It's jumping a bit more color because that's kind of a mix with a touch of red. That's definitely not the same coloring going on there then though. So on the back side, going to peek, have to go a little deeper in my scraps beside me. Because this other print's kind of cute. It's very different. We have some Santas. See, that's really bold. And this is where I didn't want a lot of this one, but you know what? If that went in there, and this one is at the front and the back, would be kind of fun with either one of those. So I'm going to try inside the card and out the front to make these work. So let me get my miscellaneous out of the way there. And again, if you remember, if you do not want to be measuring, grab your base, and this is where on this base this could be really pretty, and I'll figure out what's on the front when I get to that piece then. So for now I want a bit of the white showing because I like it. So we're going to draw with our pencils and cut our piece. This is where we keep it easy. Okay, couldn't see where my pencil mark was. That happens. And like I said, I'm mixing up my collections today. I'm not going by a certain collection. I'm going by Christmas theme and color. Color is more important. And you know me and my paper clips. I like when we can just decide what we want to do. Now flip them forward, and you need to open to this one. That's the center. I'm going to come back to the front. And for the front, I'm going to slide it up. So that's near the top. And go down to there. And I am going to have to draw a little bit of the lines. See, now this is where if I want this line exactly out front of the other one, all I had to do was trace it. And I will cut it and we'll see how it looks. But I probably have to cut off some of the bottom then if I want to keep that just below. So I traced it. Let me get this apart here. I don't need to be swinging all that extra paper. So if I, again, cut, this is where you'll see if my cutting wasn't exact. It will alter slightly. But I don't know until I try it. Oops, I can hardly see that part. I'm losing it. Okay, so I have my ruffled edge. And see, that's going to go okay. So if I want a ruffled edge, now what I have to do is line it up. So I have to fussy cut. I'm going to draw a line. I need to cut there, and I need to cut here. And see if I can find the inside way back there. So I'm going to cut off the bottom. Get the bottom off and the side. And I'll have to do a smidge on the other side, I think, or leave it over there and cut a smidge here. Then I have two ruffled edges. And this one I'm going to cheat and come back and just kind of make it look like the one that isn't there. Whoops. See, there's where I didn't get the line quite the same. So I'm just going to go like this. And I am just going to come in a little closer. Right here. There. Just so it looks better. I like it. So there is a touch of green showing up there. I like that. This is great. I don't know what I'm doing for accents yet. That wasn't even on my radar. But this is where I do want do I want red? This is where sliding them in underneath will help you. Just go like this. I'm going to put it crooked so I can see it. And then I do think the one with the green and the red is kind of cool. Just have to come in. Because I think the other one's dark. Might be pretty with the dark one though. Well, that's kind of cool. I don't mind that. I think we'll go to the dark reds and the brighter colors, front and back. Okay, I was just trying to read some of the catch-up. We have some other people checking in. Now, this is where okay, I have to check which way my birds are going. I always check prints. You never know which way things are going. What I'm not happy about here is that it's so dark. I hope my pencil mark will show. I'm hoping I can see. So I'm going to slide that in there. Hope this pencil mark is good. Yeah, no, let me get this cut off. Actually, it is very, very hard to see. So for now, this is where I make anything work. I'm going to see, I can draw maybe on the back. I'm going to go on the back side. Lesson learned. If you can't see it, check the other side and check what color it is. And yes, this is just a bit more cutting than some people like to do. But I wanted to show you some of your options. Like I said, it can be a straight piece of cardstock option change. It could be ribbon. It can be anything you think of. Oh, so no, I did it the wrong way. Gonna have to do it again. But it might fit here. And I'm going to switch. There we go. That'll do. Maybe that's the one I traced anyways, because it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good in there. So now we have to drop it down just a bit. So I'm going to cut a smidge more than what the line tells me. Okay, so I have to do a smidge. And like I said, this is where if you had templates, it might make a difference. But I never panic. It's really good to use these techniques, especially when you're changing the size of different things that you're playing with, because you can change size so easy by cutting and then just taking a smidge off. That one needs help right there. Okay, that's good and good. Okay, let's make sure I get my... The gingham shouldn't be so hard for tracing in here. Okay, so for this one, I need to go up to the top, high as I can go for now. And I'm just going to cut the piece. I want to get the piece out so I have it. And I have to put the ziggy-zaggies on here and hope I can see them really well. Oh, definitely better. Yeah, I want to make sure. There. And I should have to come over a bit. So I'm going to come over a bit now already, just to get rid of it. And remember, if you haven't joined me before, you wiggle your scissors a bit and you move your paper when you're cutting, and it just makes it that much easier. Yeah, Alicia, I always like knowing if somebody's playing along. We have a lot of people in these groups, however, that watch the video and then go back after the fact. Okay. Misplaced scissors. There it is, or pencil. Okay, I have to come in a bit, and in a bit, and down the bottom. Like I said, the only way you can alleviate this is if you actually measure each piece and know exactly what you're doing, or make templates. It doesn't take long just to take a smidge off. And if you're not used to doing the extra smidge and cuts, I tell you, the more you do it, the easier it gets. You do not have to panic. Yeah, I like that. I like that we pulled red and the green and the green and the green and red. That's cool. It's looking good. So we can start by gluing some. If you want to put anything that wraps around anything or through anything, sometimes you want to add brads and different things depending what paper you're working with. Be sure to do it before you put the glue on here. Oh, it was sitting a little bit. I have to use my pen to open it up just a bit. It's a little sticky. It was just sticking a little. Let's see if we got it. There it is. That's the one thing I love. It opens up pretty easy when it, well, can get a little glove once in a while, but that's only if you forget to put the tip back on, put the pin back in to keep the air out. And like I said, I love that I can go back and forth in really skinny amounts of glue. There's layer one. And let's open. That tip just goes right up to the edge, so nice. And because it's just small amounts of glue, it doesn't ooze out too much ever on anything. I love it. Slide over just a bit. There we go. That is pretty. And my birds are going the right way. Always remember, if you have prints with something that has to be straight up or down, if it's just the checkerboards, it can go any way. Once in a while, I've put a butterfly that's upside down, because there's a lot of things that fly that don't have to be straight up and down all the time. Looking good. I'm just trying to think. I hope I have some fun cut-aparts from the sheets of paper. And I don't care which collection, as long as we have nice colors that mix and match. So we will see. I know I have poinsettia and I have some holly that's 3D, because I have that all the time in my stash. I don't use the same stuff all the time though. Yeah, do I want it going that way? Actually, this will work. I was just checking if I could spin this one. I don't like spinning writing when it looks like it's backwards or upside down, but I have done it because the image often will go two ways. There. Now, let's take a look. This is where, for now, I still have, I'm checking my stash over here. Here's some cuties, but some of them are small, but some of them might be really cute. That's the nice red behind. Yeah, there's some cute Merry Christmas with presents. I'm just going to peek at the rest. So we got that. And I'm digging deeper because I have more things here. Here's another page from Vintage Rustic Christmas. This is the one where I got my beautiful bird the other day. I kind of like the Merry Christmas, and this here is kind of cool. And I haven't used all of that yet. I'll know in a minute. And this is where I just cut the basics to see if it's going to fit. And this is where I'm going to separate them. And it's because I think I would like that more scent. No, I might even go over a bit. We'll see. Let me get this one out. It'll be trimmed down a little bit, so we'll have to see. That's too big. The other thing I'd like to see out of here, what's on the inside? I think the bird again. It keeps catching my eye. I love the bird. I'm hoping it'll fit on the one side. So just take your time. See, I'm spinning the paper. Thanks for joining, Alicia. Take care. Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to put that cute bird stuck down here. As long as it goes from the bottom to the side and they can still write up in there. I'm going to go for it. I love that. Whoop. Okay, make sure my words are straight. Go to the edge, straighten out the words. That's nice, I like it. Gives it nice color and detail inside. It's cool. And I am back to this. I definitely like the words. So I'm just going to finish cutting them for sure. I'm just gonna cut this. I'm still trying to figure out how to get this in here. Maybe if I keep this as tight as I can, it just might work. Okay, let's see. See what happens. It could be down there. And I would, it's either that or if we pull that, that's what I'm going to do. I like that better. I'm going to, I don't want to come up and cover all that. I like the red showing there. And if I can hide that in there, I think we got it. I think we worked it out. That's good. I love it. All you have to do then is take your time and cut a few things out, move them around. Okay, I want it above the red. I want a bit of red. There we go. And let me check on my, I'm sorry, I'm reaching way over here because I have some things, and I think I have some really nice sparkle. I call them gel dots. They're not all gel dots, but they're dots. I like them. And these ones are really sticking. And we have to have some green. I'm going to use this one. There, I like them. A nice splatter. Looks good. I'm happy. And like I said, this one took more time to decorate than it did to do anything. So it isn't the main base that's the issue. Now, like I said, if you play more and do more time doing all kinds of punch outs or edging and things like that, then that helps take a little more time. But just decorating, like I said, you can, and like the one that was done perfectly straight was easy to do. There wasn't as much problem figuring out the size. Lay it down, put your pencil marks, and draw the straight lines. So, like I said, whatever you decide to do, they are fun. And here's my cards. And the new one from today. So I want to thank you for joining me. And going forward, enjoy your weekend. Take care, be safe, and see you again soon. Ciao.